Well, Bob, I hope in our lifetime we never see another storm like Irma.
Yeah, it's truly historic, and there'll be books written about Irma, I tell you, because it was just such a devastating storm. And we talked about this earlier. The I storms are the most retired lettered storms in history, really. We saw with Ivan, and many storms. I storms are bad, really bad.
Yeah, I guess so.
Get a look at the history of this. This was a Cape Verde storm. About 6 of the storms out of the 60 tropical waves develop as Cape Verde storms. So we have 60 waves come off the African coast, and about 6 only turn into major hurricanes for that matter. It started off as a low pressure system a couple of Mondays ago, and we watch it march through the Atlantic. It jumped from a tropical depression to a Category 2 storm just like that. We knew something was up, and it followed this westerly course, and eventually right there it turned into a 5. So that is Tuesday at 8 a.m. and then watch this. It goes right through the northern Leeward Islands, 185-mile-an-hour winds. It's still a 5, still a 5, still a 5, and then eventually it dropped down to a 4 on Friday. So for 3.25 days, it was a Category 5 hurricane with 185-mile-an-hour winds, the strongest long-running storm with 185 winds or greater than any tropical cyclone across the world. And then, for the first time ever, it hit Cuba as a Category 5. Cuba has never been hit by a Category 5 storm. And thankfully for Cuba, it did, because, you know, we saw this thing weaken and emerge as a Category 3 storm on Saturday. That was good news, but there was a chance it could develop and re-strengthen, and sure enough, it did, into a 4 as it moved through Key West. But then some dry air also entrained, and what Cuba did is actually beat up its circulation a little bit. It takes a while for it to get back together, and that allowed that dry air to entrain into the system, and then when it made its way through Marco Island, it was downgraded to a 2, and those 2 force winds really didn't materialize. Basically, we saw here tropical storm force winds with hurricane gusts. So if you say you've been through Hurricane Irma, it wasn't a 3, it wasn't a 2 for us here in Sarasota and Manatee counties. Basically, it was a strong tropical storm with hurricane force gusts. 185-mile-an-hour winds, the highest for the Atlantic storm, 3.25 days as a high-end Category 5 hurricane, and 37 hours with 185-mile-an-hour winds. That is a new record. It beats the old record by many hours. So largest power outage for Florida, too, on top of that. And some folks still without power here in our community, over 40%, I think, in Sarasota County. A nice day today, lots of sunshine out there. We had some generally fair skies. We have some clouds that are bringing some cirrus clouds. If these are dissipating as they head our way, there's a chance some of these could make their way late tonight. But this evening, don't worry, no problems with the rainfall around here. And this little indication we're going to start to see a little bit more rain in our area as this dry air moves out, and the remnants of what was Irma heading off to the northeast, and a lot of dry air behind it. But that dry air is leaving us as some moisture is starting to move in from the south, and that will give us a little bit better chance for some showers and storms scattered about tomorrow. But tonight, as I mentioned, should be okay. 79 under fair skies, and we'll see right now 84 sunshine, heat index at 91. We have a west wind at 7, the pressure standard. The high today was cool, considering 86 degrees. We normally get up to 89, and no rainfall report. But for the month, we're well above average, and for the year, over 15 inches above average. 88 in Orlando, 84 in Jacksonville, 87 in Miami. Temperatures in the mid-80s near the coast, upper 80s inland, and the water temperature is cooled as a result of Irma into 83. So an isolated storm or 2 possible in the morning. Better chances in the afternoon as the sea breeze develops, and then we have Jose. Jose is now moving to the south, but not a problem. It's going to eventually turn off to the northwest and then eventually to the northeast in time. Top winds are at 75, and then there's the forecast cone of uncertainty heading off in between the United States and Bermuda. So good news on that front. Temperatures over the northeast, 71 in New York. It's starting to feel like fall over the Great Lakes, 64 in Indianapolis, and temperatures out west, 87 in Omaha. Denver at 85. For boaters tomorrow, seas running right around 2 feet. East winds turn to the northwest, so a good day boating. Light chop out there, and water temperatures at 83. Sunset at 7:37. Days are getting shorter. 9:45 for the next tide. Partly cloudy, warm and dry. 76 for a low. Tomorrow, a little bit better chance, but not total coverage of rainfall at 40%. 50% on Friday. Then we dry out through the weekend.